Wheat's going in the ground across Oklahoma, and actually it's starting to emerge in parts of the state. Brian, what are some of the things that producers can be doing to help benefit the crop?
So right now you got a couple things to be paying attention to. One is your just nitrogen fertility. Two is your phosphorus and potassium, primarily our macronutrients, NPK, and all others. Hopefully you've gotten an opportunity to get out and get a soil sample and you're taking care of any of those nutrient deficiencies that the soil sample shows. If not, and you're running in just a standard protocol procedure, I still like to look at putting a starter down with the wheat. A little bit of starter is going to benefit in some of the areas that will have low phosphorus because the average is right at okay. Same thing with pH. If your pH is in that 5.6 to 6.0 on the composite sample, I would still go put in a starter because more than likely there's going to be areas of the field that are low. Caution though, we can only put so much fertilizer with the seed when we put it down. Fertilizer has a salt to it, so we don't want to get over those limits. We have some fact sheets and apps that walk you through, depending on row spacing and source, how much you put with seed. One source we would like to avoid is urea, especially in a dry soil that's sandy. Urea will release ammonia gas as it dissolves and turns from urea into ammonia, and that can harm the seed.
Say a producer didn't do the starter route with that. Talk about some of the options throughout the growth cycle of the wheat plant. What can they do then?
So if you weren't able to get starter down and you really have a deficiency out there, a phosphorus deficiency, there's still an opportunity really quickly to get over the top of it with 184060, so DAP diammonium phosphate or monoammonium phosphate 1152, and get it on. That phosphorus will still dissolve and get near the root surfaces, but let's make that fast if we're worried about phosphorus. On the nitrogen side, what we have to look at this year, we're starting the year with great moisture. We've started the last couple of years with great moisture. So where do you want your bank to sit? The decisions on nitrogen management right now is, do I want to bank early that we're going to have moisture all through the season and front load up and hope that I either have moisture to reach a yield or not have so much moisture I lose, which is fine. Just know your yield goal. The efficiencies on front loading nitrogen is poorer than running in season. If you're going to say take a little more cautious approach and not put everything up front, highly recommend the enriched strips. Have them out there so if the weather does go well, you know when that crop's responsive. We have the data, we have the research that shows that irregardless of when it shows up, whether it's November, December, January, February, even March, we can recover and reach full yield. And the later you wait for that nitrogen to be applied, getting it into February or March, the more yield you're going to get per pound of nitrogen, and more than likely the better quality.
So just real briefly, without the orange coat on, give us just a brief lesson of what nitrogen does for the plant, what phosphorus and all of that. Just real briefly, what do they do?
So nitrogen is your basic building block of DNA, amino acids. It's a major component of chlorophyll. So without nitrogen, you have yellow stunted plants, you don't have chlorophyll activity, and it's small. Phosphorus, it's our powerhouse. ATP, it helps move energy around in the plant. Without phosphorus, we're going to have stunted plants with a purple look. Potassium is important in cell function and in somatal opening and closing, so it's a great regulator for drought and water moisture in and out. K is going to have a little bit of a stunted plant, and you're also going to have yellowing on the tips, all old growth for N, P, and K.
So if producers have questions about those, there are apps, there are fact sheets, but also they can visit with their county extension office.
Absolutely, county extension office has great resources to go in, learn about managing soil fertility, your different options, your methods, your rates.
Well, thank you very much, Brian. And for more information on any of those, go to our website, sunup.okstate.edu.